स्वागत है आपका वेलकम खुशामदीद जी आयानु अस्सलाम वालेकुम नमस्ते सत श्री अकाल याली मदद नमस्कारम केम छो किदा जी ते असी ते उदय हां बखैर अगले अहलन वसहलन marhaba ya habibi ya hayati. Thank you so much for joining me not only on air 106.1 Hum FM Houston, 107.9 Hum FM Austin, online on humfmradio.com, and of course through the Hum FM apps on your Android and Apple devices. दुनिया भर में जहां पर भी हमारी आपकी मुलाकात है through Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live. Hello world. Okay, so something that we feel and we do every day. We feel that we communicate every day because we think that communication is conversations, talking. If you're talking to somebody, you're communicating with them, right? यानी कि बातचीत कर लेना ही communication है. I mean, that's what I thought. I thought, if you're able to talk, if you're able to have a conversation, then that means you are able to communicate with that person. But no, that is not true, because this is the biggest misconception about how to communicate in a relationship. Because it is thought that communication is the same as making conversations and talking includes maybe a lot of fighting as well. But yeah, we thought, people if they can fight, if they can argue, that means they can actually communicate. That's a good sign. No, it is not. Because communication in relationships is about connecting. If you ask me, I can talk about all the connections to the mixer. But when we are really talking about connecting in a relationship, what does that mean? Connecting in a relationship means using your verbal, written, and physical skills to understand the other person and their needs. It's not about making small talk. It's understanding about your partner's point of view. And not just understanding them, not just listening to them on what their needs are, but able to tell them that you're their biggest fan. Oh my gosh. This just opened up a whole new chapter. Whole new part of my brain has been lit up, really. Because communication is not just talking. Communication means using your verbal, your written, and your physical skills to communicate that two-way communication. There are two things we're communicating. One, that you understand them, and two, that you're their biggest fan, because that's what happens in a relationship. It's easy to let real connection and passion kind of diminish, especially in long-term relationships. When you're talking on a daily basis, you're talking like hundreds of times a day. You're on the phone for hours, and you feel that you're communicating, and this is communication enough. But if you haven't gotten across the part that you care for them and you're their number one fan, well, then you are not communicating. If you don't understand their true needs and you're confused what they really need, what's happening, that means despite all the long conversations, despite all the text messages, despite all the dates, despite all the parents' night out, despite all of that, despite paying the babysitter, despite all of that, you're not able to communicate. The first key in how to communicate better in a relationship is to admit that you're not communicating the way that you used to. And time has changed a lot of things. And talking with your partner about rekindling that communication, and you can just say, you know what, Lena was talking about it on the radio today. And I think we do talk and we do communicate, but this really is not communication. Communication is so much more, because I'm getting a little confused. I think there are things that are not being clear in the relationship. Talking about that, just admitting that communications are not clear is also communication. Because relationships are a place where you go to for support, for love. It's not where you go to take, it's a place that you go to give. You can still use so many of these communication strategies to make your relationship better by talking to one another. And if you think that your relationship is kind of going downhill, And everybody knows. Whoever is listening to me right now, and if your relationship is going downhill, you know deep in your heart something is not right. Maybe you're not thinking about it. Maybe you're not spending time even thinking about it. Maybe you just want to ignore it. Maybe you think if you start thinking about it or you start talking about it, you'll get anxious or depressed or both. But the only way out is through. This is what I'd like to add from my side. The only way out is through. So let's make it through. Let's hold hands. Let's talk. And not just talk, let's communicate. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. All these Facebook lives, all of those people watching there, aapke messages ka bepana shukriya. I've got tons of them. Oh, I got people are communicating. I love you. Wow, so easy यार social media पे जाके ऐसे किसी को love you बोल देना. It has become like one of those things that जब तक कि love you का message ना आए लगता ही नहीं कि live हो रहा है. Such is life. We are living in 2021, by the way. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for all the shares. They're always welcome. And this should be a two-way communication. That means ना सिर्फ मैं आपसे बात करूं. You I just don't want to be the only one talking and doing a monologue here. I want to hear what you got to say as well. You can hit me up. 1-800-444-1061 is the number to call me up in the studios, or you can shoot me an email on lena@humfmradio.com. L to the E to the E to the N to the A. Leena, lena@humfmradio.com. That's my email ID. And Facebook पे जा सकते हैं, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever you are, I will definitely be there. My handle is Girlina Shah. Inbox me, give me your requests and dedications. Tell me what you think about the show. And if you still haven't had a chance to look at our Sheesh Mahal studios over here, well, make it a point that you do. Check it out. By the way, the Lena Shah Show coming your way Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. FM 106.1 Houston, FM 107.9 Austin, around the world on humfmradio.com through the Android and Apple apps. Hum FM Radio, you can just download the app and just listen to me all the time. Or listen to everybody else all the time as well. Because we got world-class radio personalities जो कि आपका साथ देते हैं station पर, and that is why हम साहो तो सामने आए. Okay, I'm gonna move on towards these messages. बहुत बातें हो गई. People who are listening to us on air, online, and through the app, I'm gonna take you on towards a commercial break. And people who are watching me on Facebook, I'm gonna stick with you for a little bit more, so stay glued. Hello, hi. It's always such a pleasure. Okay. Headphones really mess up the hair all the time. So let's look at some of the messages that I have here. Samila, hi, how are you? Thanks for your message. Harun Khan, Wakar, Muhammad Yasir, Govind, Gias, Joel Khan, Zulkarnain, Lalit, hello, Iqbal Khan, Muzaffar Shah, Tinkle, hello Tinkle Sharma, long time. How can we do that? Well, I think I pretty much explained everything. How are you, Ali Salim? I'm good. Good night. Sleep and story. Okay, I have no idea what you just said. Saji, Sajid, Assalamu alaikum, Diwani. Hi, Diwano. Thanks for joining me on this live, and I'll catch you very soon right here. So stay glued. Bye. See ya. See ya. See ya. See ya. Okay.